What's going on, YouTube family? In today's tutorial, I want to go over some brief color grading techniques that I utilize on a new film that the director DDNB Entertainment and I are shooting called Petty AF. So I wanted to give y'all some brief pointers on how I managed to get some tight, spot-on, movie-grade color grades in Adobe Premiere Pro. Y'all follow me.
Okay, here we're back, guys. I already have my clip from my project panel into my timeline. I'm going to press play real quick just so you can get an understanding where I am.
You've reached the line. What you need, I've got it. What you want, I supply it.
All right, so let's just keep that right there. And now we don't have to deal with, or I'm not going to deal with white balance selector today, guys, just because if you have it already white balanced, you don't need to do this. But let's just say you didn't have it white balanced. You would click your white balance selector under basic correction and click on something that's white. But since it's already white balanced, I don't need to do that. So what I'm going to do is go to HLS secondary. We want to go to the key. We want to click on the first eyedropper tool. I don't want to click on her skin in the darkest shade, so about here is fine.
And guys, the reason why you're clicking on the eyedropper tool is simply to isolate her skin tone. Follow me.
Now what I want to do after that is go to the saturated and luma key and uncheck that. Okay. From there you go to the color grayscale. You check that box. That way you can check everything that's not her skin tone. All right, so let's go to our hue. It's right here. We want to smooth that out a little bit for her skin tone. Her dress is white, background is white, everything is white. That's fine. Let's feather it. The bottom is to feather.
Now, the reason why the bottom is feathering is because it's going to smooth out the edges of your clip. You don't want a rough edge, and you always want to make sure you're checking your denoise and your blur.
So the bottom triangle is to feather it, and that looks about good right there. All right. You want to come down to this icon here and invert it. All right, as you can see, I didn't do such a good job on my hue saturation because the only thing that you want white is her skin tone. You want to isolate her skin tone. You're gonna have to work with this, guys, so you can get it perfect to your liking, the way you want it to be. Okay, so just for this video, I'm going to leave it about right there. Okay, I'm going to uncheck the invert button and I'm going to uncheck the color grayscale, leaving my hue saturation, my hue level checked. I'm going to scroll down. Actually, let's go to the curves button. Okay, curves. Now what you want to do from here is I scroll down to my luma versus sat key. What I want to do is, you see the first vertical line, the second vertical line, mark it. Put a mark right here on the second vertical line and on the first vertical line. Take your first vertical arrow dot and bring it down. Watch as I bring it down. It's going to lower those highlights. Get them things looking smooth, okay? You don't want too much. Now, let's scroll up and let's go to hue versus sat.
Please follow along and please don't forget these steps. These steps will help you out a lot and avoid you making mistakes like I did in the beginning, having to go back and forth. Okay?
You want to make sure that you're making a marker point between your purple and your red. So that looks about good right there. It looks fine. Your second marker point, you want to make it between the yellow and the green, right where it meets. That looks about good right there. And your third marker point, you want to make sure that that is between your red and your orange, which is about right there. Now, my favorite part, guys. Take your first marker point on your hue versus sat, bring it up a little bit. Now, if you're not sure on how your color is looking, just come over here to your effects control. It's saving my project. Give me a second. And if you don't have a fast computer, it's going to go slow. But come over here to your effects control. If you don't see effects control, just go over to Window, Workspaces, and Reset Layout. It'll reset everything back to the way it was.
Sorry about that, guys, but what you want to do is go to Windows, Workspace, and Reset Layout.
I'm going to go to Lumetri Scopes, and I'm going to pull up my hue versus sat. And as you can see over here on your left side, your hue versus sat, you can see is leaning more toward red. Green is in the middle and blue. So what I want to do is pull up her skin tone just a tad, right? Just to pop. I want her skin tone to pop, but not too much because it's going to look weird, like you painted her face, right? Just give it a little smoothness right about there, like that. Now what I want to do from here is, we're not done, your hue saturation curves, you always make it like an S, small s. Now watch, you make a point in the middle, point at the top with where the X crosses here, or the plus, and you make a cross point here. Pull out, what I like to do is pull my bottom first. Pull it out just a little bit. You see how it changes automatically? Let's just say I want to go all the way down here. That's just too much. A small S, guys, small. And you want to bring up your top hue saturation curve line, just till you get it about right? Just to how you like it. See, I like to do it just about like a little teeny bit, right? That looks about good. That looks fine right there. For me, I like my skin tones to pop. Now, let's go back to correction, basic correction, and let's just pull the screen down a little so you all can get a little bit better of a picture here. And let's turn this color off so you all can see exactly what it is. Boom and boom. You see how it pops? Now, what you can do here, if it's too much, you just go to your creative. Bring on your intensity. Bring it down to 50. 50 is always good.
And guys, at this point, you can definitely lower your intensity a lot more. Just play around with it. Toggle around and see what you like.
Right? 51. Or you could just type 50. That looks good. And now what I like to do here is go to 92 for my saturation. Boom. And I'm done, for real. I can get some more creative. I can get creative with it later. But I'm not going to do that right now. I can do some faded film in there, just a little bit, maybe like 2. And let's check out the finished product, guys. So I'm going to my effects control, my FX, and I'm gonna toggle it off. Boom. That's flat. And boom. Separated from the background. Skin tone is popping. Maybe I could bring the intensity down a little bit more. And there you have it. I like that. That looks good, guys.
And guys, just remember, when you're color grading, make sure you take your time. Add a LUT if you need to, but make sure you color grade properly using a proper white balance, okay? Don't forget that, that's very important. So, if you like this video, please go ahead and give it a subscribe, thumbs up, a like, all that good stuff. And I'll see y'all on the next one, okay? All right, peace.